I'm Kaluna, and welcome to Screenshots. If you couldn't tell, I really love anime. When it comes to TV shows, anime included, one of the easiest ways to grab your audience's attention is with a really great opening. And man, there are some really unique and memorable anime openings out there. However, anime does tend to use a lot of the same cliches in their openings over and over again. Any fan of anime will be able to recognize these just from the sheer number of times they've been used. With that, I've made a list of the top 10 anime opening cliches. Let's begin. Number 10. Spinning. Spinning is a great way to set the tone of the anime. It can be dramatic, like in Hellgirl, or funny and chaotic, like in K-On! For K-On!, the way that it circles around the girls singing reflects the energy and spunk of the characters. The angles of the shot can also be important, like in Tsukihime, where the off-center angle creates a sense of foreboding and anxiety. It is also used for scene or character changing, often used as a transition shot, and it's starting this countdown off at number 10. Number 9. Flowers. Flowers can range from background pictures to the major center of focus in the shot. The flowers tend to be either cherry blossoms or roses a majority of the time. Cherry blossoms, as a national symbol of Japan, are used for anime that either take place in Japan or are central to characters whose name is Sakura, such as Cardcaptor Sakura or Sakura Wars, since Sakura means cherry blossom in Japanese. The other is a rose, since roses are a symbol of love, and thus are used in more romantic anime. There's Revolutionary Girl Utena, where the rose is the staple of the show, or Sailor Moon, representing the love between Sailor Moon and her rose-wielding love interest, Tuxedo Mask. Flowers can help set the genre of the anime, inform you of where the story takes place, or just make the scenery more beautiful and meaningful. Number 8. Symmetry. Alright, this one is probably the least obvious on the list. Often you'll see people's bodies or faces placed symmetrically to one another in a shot, whether it is a mirrored reflection, like in Sailor Moon, or to another person, like Yukari and Kurosawa in Azumanga Daioh. There is no set model for the symmetry, and it is the most visually unique among the cliches. For example, Sailor Moon lives a double life, both as a middle school student and a sailor senshi, so the symmetry is a reflection of her duality. If it is two or more people, it is showing a connection that these characters have. There's the sisterly relationship with Shion and Mion in When They Cry, or Higurashi no Nakokoro ni, or the brotherly relationship with Ed and Al in Full Metal Alchemist. It could be romantic, like with some of the characters from Umineko no Nakokoro ni, or confrontational, like Suzaku and Lelouch in Code Geass. It often comes down to how characters relate to each other, or an introspection of themselves. This makes the list at number 8. Number 7. Crying. With a drama anime, there's bound to be a lady crying. This is almost exclusively for drama or romance anime, although you do see it once in a while in a few shonen. This is a pretty straightforward cliche, as the crying doesn't do more than inform you that it's either going to be sad, dramatic, intense, etc. This knowledge is best used in the opening to Madoka Magica, known for its deceivingly happy opening. Madoka's tears in the beginning foreshadow the darker story hidden beneath the happy facade. Not much else to say on this one, so let's move on. Number 6. Hands reaching. Kind of like symmetry, this cliche helps to define both the anime's genre and the characters' relationships. Anime like Escraed use it to show fighting spirit, with a hand or fist raised confidently in the air. Others, like Higurashi or Prettier, use it to reflect the character's need or desire to be near someone they care about. Or it could be used in a more platonic way, like with Soul and Maka in Soul Eater, emphasizing their friendship and partnership. This motion gives the audience an idea of what kind of person this is, whether they're the confident fighter or the person seeking help and guidance, like Misa in Death Note. These few seconds allow audiences to connect familiar character traits to these figures, and with the frequency of these shots, it makes its mark on this list at a solid number 6. Number 5. Eyes. This cliche is used very quickly, and isn't on the screen for longer than a few seconds. It is often utilized as a transition to get from one part of the opening to the next. Because it is used in a variety of anime, there isn't really one specific use for it. For example, the up-close shot of Haruhi Suzumiya's eye is more of a metaphor of how the world is created based on how Haruhi sees it, a large focus of the show. It could also be an indication of an anime where eyes are important to the plot, like Lelouch's Geass eye or Saya's red eyes in Blood Plus. Overall, it looks damn cool, and that's probably 90% of why it's in the opening. Number 4. silhouettes and shadows. Very frequently found in action or drama anime, silhouettes and shadows are a great way to create mood. Dramas, like Evangelion or Fruits Basket, use the shadow effect to reflect the mysterious atmosphere the anime is set in. It gives the anime an air of mystery, and a sense of wanting to know more. Digimon Tamers utilizes this for a totally different reason. It shows shadows of the three main characters' higher-level Digimon to keep it a secret until they've digivolved in the show. It's a good incentive to keep the viewers interested. Cowboy Bebop utilizes shadows and silhouettes to both show off the characters, and yet still set the tone to get viewers to keep coming back for more. The amount of shadows that are used can vary from very little to a great deal depending on what kind of tone it is going for, coming in at the number 4 spot. Now that we've entered the top 3, these are the ones that are used most frequently or diversely throughout anime and aren't really defined as certain genres. With that, number 3. Turning to face the camera. At number 3 we have turning to face the camera. The most common purpose for this is to introduce characters, commonly in anime with large casts, such as Bakano, Durarara, or Gurren Lagann. It's a good way to introduce lots of characters in a very short amount of time. It is also a popular choice for animes based on visual novels to showcase each individual love interest. The World God Only Knows, an anime about a boy who claims to be the king of these kinds of games but then is forced to romance real girls, parodies this cliché a bit in its opening. It can also be used to show a dramatic turn in action or dramatic anime, rather than specifically introducing someone, such as Shakugan no Shana. This is a cliché that has influence in other forms of media. Many movie or television show trailers are littered with dramatic turns to the camera to increase tension. With so many uses, and not just in anime, it is no wonder that it is at the number 3 spot. Okay, I had a difficult time trying to decide between the remaining two just which one was more frequent. It was pretty close. And that being said, number 2. Wind blowing. It doesn't matter if the characters are inside or outside, or if the genre is comedic or dramatic, the wind is always blowing. Again, like the turn to the camera, this is a cliché that appears in many different forms of media, not just anime. Video games, movies, comics, you name it. It isn't specific to any one form of media. The quiet, calm wind moments, like in ghost stories, help give a sense of pacing, breathing room for the opening. Wind is often used to showcase a hero, like the Sailor Senshi standing dramatically, or Kirito fighting in Sword Art Online. Wind can also be very dramatic, like in the 4th opening of Fullmetal Alchemist. It's a very tense atmosphere with Ed and L not facing one another, each deep in thought. Death Note uses wind as a metaphor for the struggle for power between Light and L, with Light being bombarded by wind. Whatever its use, the wind is cool looking, and helps make the opening all the more dynamic. Even if it is a bit overused, it keeps appearing in anime openings, so it must be doing something right. Now before we get to the number 1, I do have a couple of quick honorable mentions. These are ones that almost made the list but just missed the mark. We have Naked Ladies, Still Shots, the out-of-focus shaky cam or textured grain lens, or the partially hidden face. And finally, number 1. Running! Seriously, everyone is running. This is the most common cliché that I found when making this list, looking through over 200 openings. You have adventurous running with Luffy from One Piece. There's the cute, whimsical running from Midori Days. Or you can have dramatic running with Wolf's Rain. The running itself in these openings can range from running in place, like Rama 1/2, to being used as a transition shot. Some shows use it to bring several characters together to make a group, like Digimon Adventure 2 or Yu Yu Hakusho. No one ever stops running! Every genre of anime utilizes it in one form or another, and it can vary from very generic to actually serving a specific purpose, such as showcasing a certain character. It also looks cool to see these characters in dramatic or action shots in these openings. From the sheer frequency of its use, it is not at all surprising that running takes the number 1 spot on this list. Now while I've counted my top 10, that doesn't mean that there aren't more anime opening cliches out there. Post in the comments below if you believe there's something that I should have put on my list. I'm Kaluna, and thanks for watching Screenshots. I want to change the world.